What's up, guys? Nethervvoid here with more Elite Dangerous Space Truckers Season 2, Episode 1. I haven't recorded these in a while because it was in beta when I stopped. I think I'd recorded 8 episodes of the first season of Space Truckers. It was just kind of a short season, but in beta, when they did large updates, they would wipe everything, and I really didn't want to fly around in a society again. And then do it again when it released gold, so I figured, you know, maybe I'll just have that little season, that season, or series, take a break for a while. So it's back. I plan on doing one of these videos every 2 to 3 days, hopefully, basically with me trading or just doing different things in the game and talking about random stuff. If you haven't seen this series before, check out Season 1. There should be a link up in the top somewhere. You turn on your annotations. So, right now I'm in the newbie area of the release, the gold release of Elite Dangerous, and I've been flying around kind of trying to figure out how to do crap, and not having a very successful time. Now, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I've been sending out tweets the last couple of days about how crazy this freaking game is and how I'm just having a hard time with it. A lot of that's because you can't use Slopies anymore, which is an automated market tool that kind of brings in data from a whole bunch of different systems and shows you where you should be trading. Instead, you have to read the stupid, crappy UI, along with the crappy place they put newbies and a bunch of other things that we're gonna talk about in this episode. Really, almost hate this game. I'm still playing because I do love it, so it's a love-hate relationship. It's very odd, and we will talk about that. This episode's going to be all about my first impressions of the Gamma, or Gold release, whichever way you want to look at it, the release of Elite Dangerous and what I think so far. So first what I'm going to do is start getting a trade run going, and right now I've been trading in the newbie system, because it's the only thing I've figured out how to trade, because the information in the UI is so horrible. That I've been picking up stuff that I thought I could sell somewhere because it said I could. I went there to sell it, and they had a huge supply of it, so I sold it at a loss. And anyway, so I finally found a trade, a one-directional trade that actually works. I'm in the newbie system. Once I leave the newbie system, I can't come back because for reasons we'll explain later. So I'm going to make a couple more trades. You can see I have... let's see. Let me do Starport Services. Let's see how much money and stuff I have. I can't even remember if I picked up anything or not. My trade's one direction, though. So, let's see. No, that's not going to work. Let's do... Huh, that's weird. It doesn't update itself. Let's see. No, that doesn't work either, obviously. Huh. Is it because the data's out of date? I don't know. Well... Right now I'm trying to use another tool called Commander's Log. You're probably seeing an image of it right now. It basically allows you to keep track of trade data, because the only way to get trade data is to land at a frickin' station and then go into the inside the station in your ship and bring up the market, which is completely idiotic. I don't know why I'd have to dock into the station. They don't have Wi-Fi or something? You have to actually connect to the station? Not really sure why that is. The year is 3300, so that's one of my gripes. But anyway, you manually input information into this thing, and then it will show you the best thing to trade. You know, it'll calculate it for you. So all it really does is the calculation, which does help. But then you have to hand type in all this crap. I'm almost wondering if this just takes more time. And I can't get it to work right now. It's not coming up with... Oh, okay. It's unselected all this stuff that I wanted to select. Why did it do that? So let's say I'm here. Yeah, that's okay. Well, I need to know the other way around, bro. Why is it not letting me pick what station to do to and from? You're dumb. That's completely retarded. And there's a couple things you can't do with this thing that I really don't understand at all. Why? Let me see. Why would it not let me choose the start system? It's forcing me to start at the system I'm docked at, which I don't want to do because it also has a docking log, so it kind of tells you your past history of docking. You have to click the button to record it. So I'm just going to put that I'm docked at this other one right here. Oh, okay, that's the there we go. I got my trade stuff. Okay. Okay, I just had to click the different system and then click trade 2 on the right over there. So I think I was trading, I want to say grain, because grain was pretty cheap. So I have 0 cargo. and I was trading grain. Oops, cancel. So they have a low demand here for grain. This is where I sold the grain, okay? I haven't found anything I can buy here that I can sell at the station I got it from. This is a extraction facility, which means they mainly are exporting metals and other types of minerals and stuff. You can see they have medium and high demand over here. And they import food and stuff. That's kind of obvious, right? Well, they also export hydrogen fuel, and the place I'm about to fly to is an agricultural place. Supposedly, they are supposed to be importing hydrogen fuel, so I would pick up some hydrogen fuel on the way back. But I'm going to get to the agriculture place. You're going to see they actually have more hydrogen fuel than these guys do. So the tooltip is completely wrong. So let's go into the system map. This is how I'm figuring this stuff out. We'll go into system view, and we'll talk about why this is crappy. We might actually have to wait till the next episode to talk about my feelings on the game so far. So this is a binary system, pretty simple. This is where I am at right here. No, that's the newbie dock. Okay, there's nothing here. You can't even trade here. This is where you start out as a newbie. I am here, Olescu dock, okay, or station. Okay, so this is the place I'm selling to. The place I'm buying from is this agricultural place. You can see agricultural economy here. Import hydrogen fuel. This is a lie. In fact, it's not only a lie, it's completely the opposite of the case. They have more hydrogen fuel than this guy, right? Who obviously is not importing it because he's got a ton of it. Why would he import it? So why would this guy import crap he's got way too much of? He's actually selling it. He's making money off this because he has too much. He wants to get rid of it. Typically, in a system that needs to import things, they don't, first of all, they don't create it, or if they do create it, they don't create enough that they don't have to buy more of it. And import means, let's say you're importing, usually it's a raw material, but in this case, let's say you need oxygen, okay? And you have plants in your biosphere or whatever that produce oxygen. Let's say it produces 100 foot-pounds per minute or some crap, okay? I'm just pulling the numbers out of my ass. But for your population to survive or whatever you're trying to do in your operation, you need 500 foot-pounds per second. Let's just say. I'm not even sure if that's correct measurement for air. It probably isn't, but it doesn't matter. So 100 units are produced per minute, and you need 500 per minute. So that means you need to import 400 per minute in order for your operation to be successful, correct? So you would be an importer of oxygen because you cannot sustain yourself. Now, if you import the oxygen, you're only going to import enough that you need and then stop because it's going to hurt your process to import more than you're ever going to use. And that's what's happening here. They've imported so much hydrogen here, apparently, that they're trying to sell it at a higher price than they're buying it for. They're trying to get rid of it, which means they're exporting it. It should be in this list, not this one. That's a completely screwed up thing in their UI. It's simple to fix. This should be fixed in alpha, maybe beta, like early beta. This should not be happening in gamma, okay? So, because the only thing you can do as a newbie is trade. There is no other way to make money. Well, there is a couple other ways. You can do bounties, and that's a great route if you want combat. I'm typically a non-combat person in these kind of games. I just like to build stuff and sell it and create businesses and I've also, like, in EVE, I set up, like, a corporation and did tons of business stuff. I used to build battle cruisers in there. It was fun. I did all kinds of spreadsheets. I had yearly balance sheets and all these other kinds of stupid things that I did that were fun before I did YouTube, and I had tons of time to burn on games. But anyway, so these guys should be importing hydrogen fuel. Don't let that fuel fool you. You need to fly to the station and actually check for yourself, which is a big pain in the ass, and it's kind of pointless. Yeah. Exactly. So that's crap. So I'm going to go from here. I'm not even going to bring anything with me. And I'm going to fly back and get some more grain because I want to make a little bit more money before I leave the newbie system. Also, I'm going to get this newbie ship. That blue means I have a newbie ship here. Why isn't it not getting out of the... Okay, well, I could have pushed exit, I guess. So apparently I also have another ship here. I'm thinking it would be in, not repairs, but there's probably, well, this guy doesn't have it. You can probably do module stuff, but this has reload unavailable. There should be a place I can pick up my ship, but I think it's at that other place. So I'm going to do a refuel. I have tons of cash now. I was running low on my balance. If you ever run too low on your balance, I'll give you a little hint here. Like if you run out of money and your ship's out in the middle of nowhere, you can go back to options here. Actually, you have to go off the main menu, and I can't show you from here actually, but you can go off the main menu, and you can actually reset your save. It's on the main menu. Just Google reset Elite Dangerous, and you should bring up a post on how to do it. I had to do that because I was doing so many trades at a loss that I couldn't, until I could find a trade that would actually make money. It was just like, it was killing me. So I'd reset the game because I ran out of money. Excuse me, but we'll talk about that later. So let's get out of here. Let's go back to Dalton Station, I think. I can't remember what it's called. Let me go to my little log over here and check it out. Dalton Gateway is what I'm going to do here. And since we're already 11 minutes in, I'm not sure how much I'm going to talk about what I think about the game, because I don't want to get into the good and the bad, the good, and the future things I think they should do without having a full episode to do that. Well, I could probably do it over 2 episodes.
Engines engaged.
I love these little landing pad ones. They're much easier to get in and out of because I'm really tired of having to fly into stations and shit like that. It's really boring. So Dalton Gateway, let's lock that sucker in, and let's line this dude up, and let's get up to speed here. Let's do all this mumbo jumbo. We're gonna crash. Let's not crash. That would be bad. Not that it would matter. We don't have anything. So boost out. We're mass locked. We need to get away from the station a little bit to engage our super cruise here. My super cruise is on K, which is the standard super cruise. Apparently, the jump drive was not hotkeyed. I hotkeyed it to J because that just seems to make sense, and it's right next to K, so that kind of works too.
Engage.
If you want to know how I have my controls set up, you can go look at my how to dock video. I will probably, it's linked, I know, in episode 1, season 1, episode 1, so you might want to check that out. But we're gonna pump this sucker up. Yeah, we need to go faster than this. What's going on here? Engines are maxed. That's good. Probably just have to pick up speed. Probably also a little bit tight on the mass there. So I don't know. Let's just start talking about my impressions. This can extend to 2 episodes. I don't really care. Maybe I'll record back to back. It's fine. So let's start with the bad. I like to start with the bad, then I like to get to the good because I like to end on a good note. And usually that way people will stick around for the good stuff. Why is this thing being such a douche? Let's go, man. Why are you flying so slow? Nothing's... Cargo scoops up, landing gears are up. The mass isn't an issue. What's going on? Usually I'd be way up to speed already. There it goes. It's picking up. So generally what you want to do is keep your speed about 10% of the distance between you and your object. So for here I'd want 12 times the speed of light probably. 11. So I'm going to start cutting back pretty soon because I'm getting up to 10% here. And you do not want to overshoot. You can use that little blue indicator, some people say, to autopilot you in, but it does not work a lot of the times. You can see the blue thinks I should speed up, and I'm going to overshoot. Almost going to overshoot that. It will make you overshoot, and almost overshoots me every time. So that is not worth it to me. That takes too long to get back to see. I'm doing it 10%, and it's way up there. It says I should be at like 6 right now. Screw you, man. Stupid autopilot, not working. So anyway, let's just start out with the bad. And we're about halfway in. Sorry we're taking so long, but it is what it is. But by far, and maybe this is just because I can't remember the last time this has happened to me probably, this is the worst newbie experience of any MMO launch I've ever been in. The absolute worst. And, you know, I was in the EverQuest launch. I've been in a lot of launches. I was not in the WoW launch. I was in the Vanguard launch. That was horrible. But this game takes the freaking cake. I'm sorry. And it's not because I can't log in, because a lot of those other games, it was because you couldn't log in, the ping was horrible, they were having problems with their servers. That is bad. I'm not saying it's not, but the game itself is not bad. Now, EverQuest, the game, was a good game when it started out. Relatively few bugs, relatively stable things. I mean, there was bad ping and all that stuff, but the game itself was good. I had fun playing that game. I wanted to play. Vanguard, probably one of the worst launches of all time. I'm sure if you didn't play it, if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. Their game was horribly unoptimized. Frame stuttering, visual stuttering all the time. Servers clogged up. It was bad. Bugs, not too many, but the game was a horrible mess when it first launched, and that really killed the game. The game gets one launch. An MMO, gets one shot. Just like, what's his name's song? Eminem, right? You only got one shot, don't blow it, is basically what he's saying. So, it's true. Definitely with MMOs. MMOs are all about their population, okay? If you don't have a population, when you start, when your game launches, you will never have one, pretty much. You'll never have what you could have had, anyway. It will never be what it could have been. And that is true of a lot of games. Look at Vanguard. Actually was a really good game. I kept playing it. I came back to it. Yeah, I didn't continue to play too far from the initial launch. But it was a fun game regardless. It was a blast to play that game. They had a lot of great features. Very, very open for a for seemingly what's it called? Seemingly treadmill style game. It did kind of lead you around a little bit, but there were kind of cool areas off the beaten trail, and if you left the trail, you could find some really cool stuff. I really liked that. But it had a horrible launch, so of course it's going to just have these major issues, and it's never going to get the population, or it had major issues and it never got the population it could have gotten, right? So it just kind of died. And what can you really do about that other than, well, nothing? There's no way you're ever going to get that population back. People made their minds up, and that was the end. In fact, people still had the idea that Vanguard sucked, even after they fixed stuff that they said that they didn't like. People still, they're like, oh, why would you ever play that game? It's visually bugged, and you can't even play. The frame rate's horrible. And they fixed all that stuff. And people are like, well, they fixed it, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about. But Vanguard didn't get a chance because they had their shot. And most people, once you burn them, for good reason, they will not come back. You're done. You had your chance. That's it. And so they hopefully learned their lesson. Well, they probably didn't. It's Sony. I mean, come on. But they could have had a lot. That game could still be running and still be awesome because it was a really awesome game. It had a lot of great features. So yeah, worst newbie experience ever. Now here's why. The interface is ridiculously horrible. Eve's interface is horrible too, and they seem to duplicate Eve's interface. Now I don't mean the flight interface. That's pretty good actually. Where you see your shields, where you find your instrument panels, all that. The actual flight GUI or user interface, I like it. Where things are laid out, it's easy to see where things are. You've got your panels, like this and stuff. It really feels cool. You can look around your cockpit like this. I really like this part of the UI, and you don't even have to pull stuff up. I can just look at it and it comes up, which is kind of cool also for peripherals. Like I think it's called VI something, or IV something, where you can look around the cockpit. You can actually hook something up. It looks kind of like a Wii U infrared thing, and then you put an infrared headset on and you can look around your cockpit with just moving your head. That's really cool. But this interface, look, this interface is bad. This is a horrible interface, okay? It's very listy. It's just like, what the hell? And then there are no tooltips, I don't think, are there? Nope. What is this? Contacts. What the hell does this do? I have no idea. In the video description, they luckily released a video on what the hell everything is in here. There's a link in the video description for that, which is great. There is a user manual out now. I have to read it. But you know what? People need, and a lot of this is because, gamers are lazy. Especially new gamers. They're just lazy. They want tutorials. We're used to them now. We need We need tutorials in this game. This game does have tutorials, but sadly, they're almost all combat tutorials. So, as a guy who doesn't do combat, they're basically worthless to me. There is one on docking. That's kind of nice. Again, if you don't really having a hard time with docking, watch my how to dock video. I'm also going to be doing a new how to trade video because my old one uses just really crutches up on slopies because it was such a great tool. But I'm going to show you how to do it without the tool. So watch for that. But the interface is crap. You know, it doesn't even tell you what to do. Look at here's a commodities market. The least amount of information in a market I could hope for, especially for 3300, the year 3300. My Samsung Galaxy phone has more information than this. This is pathetic, man. My phone tells me more about what's going on in this thing. So we're here. Hydrogen fuel, more than the last place that this place is importing it. They're importing it. How do they have such a high supply if they're importing and they want to get rid of it? Okay? There's no demand at all. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. So, that's stupid. It should update itself in the UI so I don't make a mistake and bring the wrong thing here. So, let's pick up some grain to have a super high amount here. And I can actually update this in my commander's log, the pricing and stuff. But I'm fine with it. The pricing is very similar than what it was yesterday for me. Grain, yeah, 105 is actually the exact same, so it has not changed in 17 hours. So I'm going to load up on this. Now what I can do, so my cargo is updated, you can actually see, which is nice, the cargo says you have 4 of this item. That's great, because sometimes it's hard to figure out what you have. As you can see, it doesn't tell you what you have in here. It just tells you your cargo space, right? But when you finally get into this UI, you can see what you have. Now, if you want to see what you have outside of this UI, you can go back to your thing here and just push this panel here and go to cargo, and you can see what you have, which is really nice. Again, they don't tell you how to get to this. Seems pretty deep. Really, it should be right here. I should know right here, probably right down there, what the hell I have in my cargo, okay? Show me on the screen. I should not have to go to a frickin' panel over here, deep into the panel to get what the hell I have in my frickin' bay. That sucks. Or maybe let me customize it so I can put, other things on my HUD here. HUD meaning heads-up display. This is something the military created for fighter pilots, so they don't have to look down at instrument panels when they're fighting, which is kind of a good idea. It kind of keeps you alive. But anyway, that's pretty crap. And so I'm spending a lot of time on this stuff. It really pisses me off. I've seriously spent 20 hours on this game figuring out how to trade as a newbie and make some money. Okay, and even the internet's not helping me. Wiki's not helping. There's tons of... Oh, what am I doing? I don't want to launch. I'll just go back down in. I really need to use starport services. Now, you don't want to hang out on the pad. I don't know if you've watched this game. If you hang out on the pad, you will get killed. So don't do it. And now my cargo hold's full, so I would be really SOL if I did. Let's enter the hangar again. If I did hang out on the pad, I will die. So be careful with that. Try not to AFK too much. Hitting the wrong button could get you killed. So, also with your boosters, if you have your boosters, they're probably hotkeyed to spacebar. You should re-hotkey to something like tab, so it's something you're not hitting all the time. Because it's the same, booster button is the same button as the select button. So when I do this and select starport services, that's the same button as my booster. Bad idea. Why don't they change the default key away from the spacebar for boosters? Duh. Okay, rant over. So, we're back in here. I'm going to go into the commodities market again because I really want to find something I can trade from that other station. I did update some information from that other station. I'm pretty sure that I did not find anything. I'm going to show you another way to show how you can figure out what to import from which station. So let's go, and this is also information that could be wrong. If you go up here, this is galactic average. I'm going to do the drop down and select the other station, okay? So if I go down here, actually I can't do it. It uses only systems. So like I can select the next system over, which I know the one I really want to go to. And they're not alphabetized, which is, again, what the hell, guys? They're not alphabetical. Thanks. So now I got to hunt through each stupid name and find what I want. And a lot of times the names are like this. Freaking numbers. So yeah, again, thanks. Have a sort button here. Right there. Sort. It's freaking 101 programming stuff. Okay. Rant off again. Okay, so let's go down to Now, you guys stick with me here. I got a lot of good to say about this game, and obviously I'm not playing it for money. You guys know I don't do my channel for money. I make shit tons of money on my regular job. I don't need this channel at all. It's nice to make money off of it, but I do it because I like it. So if I'm playing this game and still want to do videos, it's because I like doing them, and I like playing this game. Oh, there it is, Eravit. This, I've heard, is a great system for newbies, and I'm going to fly there soon, but again, I'll tell you why later. I can't fly back to the newbie system. Well, I can, it would be a huge pain in the ass. So, imported from, I think, means these guys are selling it to Eravit. Eravit's importing, or no, these guys are importing. I think it goes backward. I think these guys, the system, not this station necessarily, but this system as a whole, LHS, whatever it is, 1344 or some shit like that, they're importing from Eravit, okay? So that's kind of cool to know. You can also look at other systems like this one and see, I don't know, what are they doing? Nothing. So these guys are not doing anything. Of course, she always tries to call when I'm right in the middle of a freaking video. So let me tell her so she'll stop. So, did it go through? No, it didn't. So, okay. They're not importing or exporting. They have no traffic between the two systems. Another way to know, let's go to the map. I'm just going to show you a little bit about trade here. You can see I have some lines going on here. This is the newbie system. This is the system I just selected, right? You can see how far away it is, 4 light years. You kind of need to know that. You need to look at how weighted down your ship is. I'll tell you about all this when I do my trade tutorial. But you can look at the system view, which is another easier way to kind of look at what each station is importing and exporting. The problem is, again, these could be wrong. Okay, these are just, what this means is, for industrial economies, this is the normal import-export, I think is what it means. That doesn't mean this station necessarily is doing it. I don't think this is a custom data for this station. I think it means an industrial economy typically looks like this. Because we've seen from the other, see, hydrogen fuel. But it might not be importing hydrogen fuel. I think this just says most economies that are agriculture should be importing hydrogen fuel. I don't know if this guy is. Now, this is nice to know that we have an agriculture and an industrial here, because I think they import food, I want to say. And I think the industrial, I can sell back equipment to this Ackerman market here. That would be nice. So when I fly over there, that's the first thing I'm going to be trying to set up. I want to do inter-system trading at first because it's a little bit safer before I build up enough money to actually leave the system and go, fly out to stuff that's a little bit more explored. I haven't even gotten to exploration. I do want to get into it. It's probably going to be coming up in a episodes very, very soon because it's really cool, but not now. So you can't always trust this, but that's the one way I kind of look at it, right? And then you can also use, like I was saying, this little setup here. Because what you can do is you can go to the view here, and you can see I've got everything but a certain textile unselected. I'm looking at how leather is being traded. Now, I think this means importing from and exporting to. I think that's what that means. I mean, that would be logical, but it could be the other way around. I'm pretty sure that that's the way it works. So leather is coming from here to here. So if you can get here, you should be able to sell your leather. I don't know how accurate this is, if this is something that's static. And they're saying, okay, since this is let's go look at it real quick. Since this is an industrial agriculture economy, naturally there would be an export over here to this agriculture extraction economy. That's what I think it might mean. If that's really true right now or not, I don't know. I wouldn't count on it, and it should be, though, but maybe that's too hard on their systems. I really have no idea. I don't care, but they need to fix it. Because this kind of generic information, since it can be untrue a lot of the times, and you can't take the risk of buying something like that and not being able to sell it, it becomes useless. This is something I just thought about in 2 seconds, guys. I barely even played this game. What are these guys thinking when they're sitting around the table talking about the game? They've been doing this for months, and they haven't figured that out yet? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm an analyst for a living. That's what I do. That's my job. I've been doing it for like 20 years now. I analyze systems. I build automation. I look at the best way to do things and figure it out. I'm an efficiency guy. This is inefficient. This is useless information. Actually, I work in business intelligence, so I deal in actionable information. Information that you cannot make a decision on, quote unquote, making it actionable, because you can make a decision from it, is useless information. If you can't make a decision and put an action into play, the information is useless. I'm saying this is not actionable information, and they need to fix that. They need to get a BI guy in here or something to kind of fix this stuff all up. Eve has their economist. Elite Dangerous needs to have their whatever, business intelligence guy, economist, whoever they need to do. Probably an economist. That's probably a really good idea for this game. But anyway, we just barely scratched the bad. I will be following up with more about what my initial reactions are to the release of this game. The 30-minute marker's up, and I really don't want to talk your ear off. I could keep going on my soapbox all day. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this game, about those links. This is going to be a process for us all. Really, I'd like to hear your feedback on this game and what you think too. Let's figure this game out together. If you have any tips for me, let me know. I do know that this little marker means I have a ship here. I did get a ship from being in beta, a free ship, which will help me a lot. If you're a newbie with the Sidey, that's why I kind of stuck with the Sidey. I wanted the newbie experience so I could tell you what it was like to be a newbie. If you want to buy this game and weren't in beta, you won't have a free ship like that. So before I leave this system, though, I will be picking up my new ship. I'll probably be dumping the Sidey and leaving this nice, ship with hopefully more cargo space. But as always, guys, stay frosty.